Okay, one more video for the evening, and I think I'm done. Hey everybody, it's me. Um, I kind of posted this as a status on my Facebook or recently, and it's just something that I feel like I need to mention. I'm new to the cosplay scene. You might have seen my pictures of me cosplaying Tonks. It's not the best, but again, I just started cosplaying like last year. So I'm fairly new to this. Um, but it's improved. It's improving. It's anything. You practice makes perfect. You get better at it. And I don't have the resources to like buy, $400 costumes online, or I can't sew, so I do, so I don't sew things. But I do find really good items at the thrift store, like my long black coat that I use for tongs. I found that at a thrift store for like $2. So I know how to find a deal at a thrift store. But I wanted to talk about. I didn't realize this until very recently, but there's, I don't want to say a lot, but in the cosplay scene, there's some competition and jealousy, I've noticed, and this is not a good thing. For example, um, my I have a friend who is a Voldemort cosplayer. I have a couple friends who cosplay as Voldemort, actually, and he was talking about that there was a Voldemort cosplayer at DragonCon, and he went to DragonCon, and he was being kind of pretty immature. He was surrounded by a bunch of people that were dressed as Death Eaters and saying, he's an imposter and all that. Just being, like I said, immature. And there are a lot of people, and I've talked to friends where it's like, I have a friend who was trying to come up with a costume for the next con that's coming up in Atlanta. Um, and he's trying to figure out who he wanted to be, and he was thinking about being Seamus. But his friend said, no, I'm Seamus. I am the only Seamus. And so now he's got to figure out. And I've been trying to give him some good ideas, but nothing's working. And I've noticed, and I've actually found out that this goes on a lot where people who dress up as a certain character, and a lot of cosplayers, that's what they'll do. They'll choose like one character out of a fandom or something, or a couple, or there are some that dress up as, anything that they can get their hands on. But mostly there are people that like have that one main character that's just, that's so close to them and so close to their hearts that they love. And with some people, I'm not saying a lot, but some people, it they get, I, I don't know, bummed, angry, jealous when they see somebody else dressed as that character. With me, I have no problem because hey, you know, my Tonks costume is kind of lame. It's not as lame as it was a year ago. Now, last year when I went to DragonCon, it was straight up lame. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, people knew who I was supposed to be, but it was a pretty lame attempt. And why is the light going like that? Anyway, but they'll see somebody who's probably dressed better, uh, probably looks better or looks closer to the character, and sometimes people, want to put each other down, and I don't think nerds should do that to each other. We get that enough from normal people. We don't need to bring each other down. We need to build each other up. So it's like, so whenever I saw like a Tonks at Dragon Con, I was just like, hey, the same thing at LeakyCon. I was like, hi, oh my gosh, somebody else who loves Tonks. And it's especially for me at Dragon Con, because when I dressed as Tonks, when I have my short hair and my short pink hair at LeakyCon, people knew who I was. They knew right away. When I have short pink hair holding a wand at DragonCon, and there are a lot of people that have not seen the book, who have not read the book but have seen the movie. They're like, wait, if you're supposed to be Tonks, why don't you have long hair or purple hair on like head pillow? But anyway, it's just to me, instead of being jealous or saying, because one thing, you don't own that character. I don't own Tonks. I have a lot in common with Tonks, but I don't own Tonks. Uh, J.K. Rowling does. She was the one that came up with this character. If it wasn't for the people that imagined these characters, we wouldn't have a cosplay character. So think about that. And just think about it as more of like, I'm really happy that there's somebody else who shares my enthusiasm for this character that I love so much. So you could see it as that way. Well, I think that's enough.